Welcome to the Tesla Economist. Please hit the thumbs up and remember to subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter and talk to me on Patreon. I really want to know about these new Tesla variants. We have these new vehicles rated by the EPA, and we have these new vehicles coming off the line in Texas. Some people think that these are not the same vehicles. To me, it is obvious that these new vehicles coming out of Texas are the ones Tesla registered with the EPA, i.e., Texas Model Ys have a range of 279 miles. Now, surely the new 4680 models would have had to be tested by the EPA anyway, like right about this time. But we know how dangerous assumption is. It may appear obvious, and we think we might have connected the dots. Can we know for sure? Well, one thing's for sure. We know Tesla are making cars in Texas right now. How do we know? Well, we can actually see them. Tesla have their new 4680 vehicles in the car park sitting there. In fact, they were initially covered, but the covers are off now, and we can see them. Thanks to drone YouTubers who keep up to date with the progress of the new factories, we're able to see photos of these new Model Ys that have been made in the new Texas facility. We can see the product. Well, if we can see it, then perhaps maybe we can work out what variation of model it really is. So let's see if we can compare these photos to match other Teslas. Well, they all look very alike. It's not overly easy to tell. We can't read any model descriptions, such as dual motor either, but there is one element we can see. Can you think of anything particularly distinguishable now I mention it? The wheels. We can see the wheels. On closer inspection of the wheels, we can definitely tell they're not the performance wheels. The performance wheels are much darker. These wheels are more chrome. The performance wheels have 11 spokes. These wheels appear to have 7 spokes. Therefore, we can rule out any performance Model Y. Which model comes with 7-spoke chrome wheels? The Chinese standard range Model Y. The wheels look identical. I think we can agree that these are the wheels we're seeing in the photo of these cars in Texas. The Chinese standard range does have the option to also upgrade the wheels too, to Tesla's 20-inch induction wheels. Looking at the cars, they all appear to have the same wheels. There are some vehicles that are still covered, but some of the covered ones are also revealing the wheels are the same. Therefore, it would appear that all these vehicles have the standard range wheels. What about the long range then? Well, the default wheels on the long range when you go to the website are actually the induction wheels at the additional $2,000. These are also a darker wheel with more spokes. This threw me off a little, and I didn't initially realize that Tesla already upgraded the wheels by default on the website. But after deeper inspection, you can edit the vehicle to downgrade the wheels to these 7-spoke chrome wheels. Therefore, we're not able to totally rule out this being the long range yet. But if it's not the performance version, then what might we be able to infer from that? Well, it could have been a plausible theory, in that Tesla would simply try and generate as much profit as possible by selling the performance and long-range versions from Texas. The 4680 batteries would have made a great performance version. The performance version does have the most profit. However, demand for the performance won't be enough to support the supply coming out of Texas, so we aren't too surprised it's not performance. Whereas the long range though, well, that does have a lot of demand still, and it does still carry some hefty profit. But if it's the long range, then why are they using the standard wheels for all of them? If Tesla went with the long range, then you might assume it would be to add additional profit. Then wouldn't they also want to be adding the more expensive optional extra wheels to get the extra profit? Currently, it's showing on Tesla's website, I can take delivery of a Model Y by September, 6 months away. Fremont alone is handling that demand. Yes, it's a reasonable waiting list, but Texas probably has 5 times the Model Y capacity as Fremont. Do you think Tesla would have demand for 5 times as many Ys with a starting price of $62,000? Before you answer that, also bear this in mind, that demand I'm referring to for the long range, well, it will drop when there is suddenly a lower cost Model Y out on the market too. And this lower cost Model Y is probably going to be in the mid 50,000s. I predict 54,000. Now, that is going to get a lot of demand, even at that price point. And perhaps the price will be a little higher to start with, but it's still going to be a saving compared to the long range. When price is lower, demand is definitely higher. The standard range Model 3 is the most popular Model 3. But one of the biggest issues I have with these potentially being long range vehicles is, well, they already make long range Model Ys at Fremont. Would Tesla really want to stop making long range vehicles in Fremont and then make them in Texas instead, closing down the already established line of the 2170 long range and then moving them over to Texas for 4680, whilst it would appear keeping the performance in production at Fremont? And then imagine having to set up all these new production lines for this new 279-mile Model Y vehicle at Fremont, a different sized battery pack. Is that likely? Or would Tesla continue to produce long-range 2170s at Fremont and also start making long-range 4680s at Texas? I don't like having two different products labelled as the same, but it's not always about what I like. The colours they've chosen for these vehicles, well, usually they're white. White and grey now are the base colours, but these are all blue and black. They have the standard wheels on, but they've upgraded the colours. Perhaps these new versions also have different base colours, which may be good, as there are probably too many white Teslas around anyway. I had previously ran a model that suggested Tesla could produce 40% more vehicles if they ran the medium range version from Texas instead of the long range. And although there will be less profit per vehicle, the fact there are 40% more vehicles means Tesla can make up for it in overall total gross profit. This is the most profitable route. It also increases Tesla's market share that much faster, more first mover advantage. It means that there are more cars out on the road to benefit from FSD and robotaxis too. But when will we find out, and how will we know? Possibly one day soon, it will simply be added onto the website as a different option when purchasing a Model Y. And there with it will be the information, finally, from the battery day features that we've been waiting to see all this time. We should know quite easily if it's using 4680 batteries from the specifications on the website, although it will be unlikely Tesla tell us the battery size. In addition to that, a Tesla hacker has discovered language in the software update 2022.8.2. They're indicating that there is a Texas-made Model Y Standard Range Plus version, and goes on to say, I guess that would be the first car configuration out of that place pretty soon. Right, okay, well, I've been labeling the car as a medium-range Model Y, but Standard Range Plus is a likely name also. For those of you avid fans, you might also recall that there actually was a medium-range Model 3 that we called the Lima. But it sounds like this hacker is also saying that this new vehicle is coming from Texas, and with 4680s. This may not be the irrefutable evidence we needed, but I think, in my opinion, we have enough signals all pointing to this 270-mile range version of the Model Y being the vehicle that we're seeing come out of Texas, and with the 4680 battery. Now, if you're unhappy about this, then ask yourself why. Is it because you're looking through the perspective of a consumer and thinking more what car you want, and therefore feel that as a Tesla customer, then you know what the customer wants? Or are you thinking from the perspective of what is best for the company and mission? I think this does align with what's best for now. The 4680s can be used in the Cybertruck and semi-trucks later, when they are in production, but in the meantime, let's get as many of these Teslas out as possible. And alright, for those long-time listeners, this does sound a little bit like me getting overly excited about the Plaid all over again, and I admit it, Tesla absolutely blew me away with the Plaid, and I don't know how they got that performance out of those batteries. I do try and go to Tesla's extremes at times, but sometimes they're just so far ahead, even I can't seem to reach. But I do what I can to source the evidence and see what makes the most sense to me. For what it's worth, I hope I'm wrong, and these are LFP batteries, and Tesla have gone and jumped another order of magnitude on LFP tech, but I don't think Tesla could have done that without us knowing. Thanks for listening. Please hit the thumbs up and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter and talk to me on Patreon.